Here we are as we're coming up to Holocaust Day. Holocaust Day is something that we mustn't forget. It is a reminder of what happened. It is about light in darkness. It's about keeping that flame alive of the memory that died. And the memory of the Holocaust mustn't be forgotten. We mustn't allow people to deny the facts, the truth and the history. Far from it. That's why Holocaust Day matters. It is about keeping that light in darkness. It's about ensuring about Holocausts that have taken place. And what I would say is, here at the moment, the people who fought the tyranny of Germany, to fight for the freedom of this country, but to free those people who have been in concentration camps, the hate and the horror that they found within there, the tragedy of millions of people who lost their lives. This must never happen again. Whether it's a modern day Holocaust or it's Holocaust from history, the light will always be there within darkness.
Breathe a light in the darkness. That is the theme for this year's Holocaust Memorial Day. But what does that mean for us here in South Ribble in 2021? Well, the light represents hope. It represents freedom, and crucially, it symbolises the escape from darkness and persecution. To me, light breaking through the darkness is an apt metaphor for the end of a terrible genocide. And this is what we're here thinking about today. The Holocaust was an unthinkable thing, a time in human history. Unthinkable, yes, but something we must never forget. Because the memory of those people must live on, and we must remember that our similarities as fellow human beings are so much greater than our differences. The facts and figures that we read about the Holocaust are sometimes difficult to contemplate. By the end of these terrible times, 6 million Jewish men, women and children, along with many others, had been murdered in ghettos, mass shootings, concentration camps and extermination camps. And whilst we cannot bring these people back, what we can do is remember them. Their lives, their accomplishments, read their stories, read about them, who they were and the horrors they unfairly faced and how some survived and told the world. As Mayor of South Ribble, I want to say that today our thoughts here in this part of the world are very much with those who have lost loved ones and family to genocide, not just in the Holocaust under Nazi persecution, but also those in more recent genocides which followed in Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia and Darfur. Man's inhumanity to man. We must never forget the lives lost, and we must commit to pursuing an ideal world in which we all champion equality, tolerance, respect and love for our fellow man. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Alistair Bradley. I'm leader of Chorley Council and I'm here to talk about the Chorley Holocaust Memorial Service, which is an annual event held to commemorate the victims of the Holocaust. And although we were unable to come together in person this year, we can all still stand in solidarity at this time. We mark Holocaust Memorial Day every year to remember the millions of people murdered for who they were in the Holocaust, during Nazi persecution and the genocides that followed in Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia and Darfur. The theme of Holocaust Memorial Day 2021 is to be the light in the darkness, and it encourages everyone to reflect on the depths humanity can sink to, but also the way that individuals and communities resisted that darkness to be the light before, during and after the genocide. This theme asks us to consider the different kinds of darkness, for example, identity-based, persecution, misinformation and denial of justice, and also different ways of being the light, for example, resistance and acts of solidarity and rescue and illuminating mistruths that we all experience. Increasing levels of denial, division and misinformation in today's world mean we must remain vigilant against hatred and identity-based hostility. Rapid technological developments and a turbulent political climate and world events beyond our control can leave us feeling helpless and insignificant. The unprecedented times through which we are currently living showing us the very best of what humanity is capable of, but also when in some situations the abuse and conspiracy theories being spread on social media can also reveal the much darker side of the world as well. Survivors' testimonies have shed light on the Holocaust, Nazi persecution, and more recent genocides. And even though they've been very painful for many survivors to share, the effects of advancing age and ill health on Holocaust survivors make their witness testimony increasingly difficult to convey in person, yet many continue to educate others about what's happened in the past. This year's theme asks us to recognise that the responsibility for genocide education and prevention does not just lie with those survivors. Their experiences hold lessons for us all, and it is vital that we listen to their experiences and become witnesses for them. The world, as we know, is currently dealing with a global pandemic of COVID-19. It's a time of change and uncertainty for all of us. Many people are struggling with bereavement, loss, isolation, loss of income and fear. But there are also many people bringing light to their communities by stepping up to offer support and friendship in these difficult times. Holocaust Memorial Day enables us all to remember for a purpose. It gives us a responsibility to work for a safer, better future for everyone. Everyone can step up and use their talents to tackle prejudice, discrimination and intolerance wherever we encounter them. And that's why I'm asking that you join me in marking Holocaust Memorial Day on Wednesday the 27th of January this year. Even though we can't gather together as we normally would and share the experience, we should all mark it in our own ways. Thank you.
Hello everyone, it's Paul, the leader at South Ribble Borough Council. I trust you're all keeping well on today, the Holocaust Memorial Day. Genocide is appalling, and the things that humans can do to other humans is just shocking at times. And we must all remember what happened in the Holocaust, and all ensure it never ever happens again. Be the light in the end of the darkness is what the Holocaust Memorial Society is stating this year. And the only people that can be the lights are us. And they've said themselves on the website that they're becoming increasingly concerned in the fake news and the conspiracy theories that are flying around social media at the moment that are making human beings hate each other again. And this cannot be right. So please, from the bottom of my heart to everyone out there in South Ribble, let's all be the light at the end of the darkness. Let's all stick together. Let's all continue to disagree if we disagree. But let's just remember that we can never, ever, ever allow that hatred to become what happened in the Holocaust and other genocides which are happening as we speak around the world. Thank you.